Welcome back. It's been a while to Two Dudes with Attitudes. That's right. Two Dudes with back. We are back. I'm sorry. My wife had the stomach flu and I haven't been feeling good and I've been letting everyone down and shooting star press down, but I'm back. I'm going to do my best. And we are, because of it, if you are watching this live, we are going to give you a double header. So it's going to be like the old school days when you used to go to a drive-through or drive-in and get to watch a movie and it was always a double header back to back. That's what we're going to do today. We are officially in our WWE Wednesday episode, and then we will end and start right back up afterwards with our AEW Friday episode. So as always, I am Mr. MWO, the Dude of Wrestle Talk, and with me is that ginger who has a brand new shirter, Mr. Shooting Star Press, the honorary
dude. Yes, sir. We are back, and today, like he said, you get two dudes times two dudes. So I've been thinking of that all day. That's been in my head all day, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to say it on the podcast. I thought it was clever.
Times two dudes. Yeah. I like it, dude.
So, but yeah, we are back. You know, a couple of days late, but never a dollar short.
Thank you, wrestling guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
People watching.
We did. B-Roll and Wrestling Guy, I gotta say, I think they've now taken over everybody else because they were even like texting and hitting up, wondering where we were. Yeah. So.
But
yes, sir.
We are all good. Everybody's happy and healthy, and we're back. And
yeah,
so
the rumors of us breaking up weren't true.
Yeah.
Wait, were those rumors? I'll start them.
Now it's just dude with attitude.
Yeah, it's just Shooting Star now, not me. Yeah. But anyway, we got a lot. I mean, I haven't seen you since last Friday. I mean, we've texted and talked. So what's going on? We'll jump into our normal catching up.
Oh, it's Friday. It's raining. It's
all right.
Kind of a dreary day outside. So yeah, it's a perfect day to stay inside, snuggle up by the fire with your loved ones and listen to some two dudes times two.
Why would you want to listen to anything else? Don't put on the Boyz II Men or Justin Bieber or whatever you kids listen to. Put on a podcast, listening to our voices, soothe you guys into, heaven or whatever you do nowadays, fireplaces. You're funny. I slide into those DMs, LOL. Yes, you do, B-Roll, and I appreciate the pics you sent too. Wrestling Guy, you love the merch. Thank you. I've had this for a little bit, and I thought I'd wear it today because I didn't want to do a wardrobe change. I usually wear a WWE shirt than an AEW shirt, so I had to, Shooting Star Press sent me the most epic text ever. All right, well, now we got to hear it. What's the story? He called you out.
Oh, man. Oh, Lord. I don't even know. He asked where we were the other day, and there's a lot of stuff going on the app that where we have the most followers, to TikTok, and so I made a comment about that and made B-Roll giggle. So it was just
got it.
One of those.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, TikTok. It's been a wonderful place. For those of you who only listen to us on a podcast or Twitch or possibly YouTube, because we're blowing up on YouTube right now. You know what I mean? We are from TikTok, and the world is a crazy, crazy place on there right now. A lot of stuff going on, and I've only posted a few times, so maybe that's why I needed to go away. I needed some time away from all of this nonsense, but people are surviving, moving on, and we are here. And Uncle A, who's related to Uncle Howdy, and wants to know what today's topic is. And you know what? You probably jumped on a little late, so we'll fill you in again. We're doing a double header right now. So we are on WWE Wednesday today, Friday edition. And then we're going to pause probably for like 2 minutes and jump right back on and then do our AEW Friday. So a lot of stuff happened. What?
Double
go ahead,
feature.
Go ahead.
Yep. Double feature of two dudes.
Feature.
That's right.
Double feature, two dudes with attitudes, double dudes. Wait, double the dudes. This is gonna get bad.
Double
today.
McGum.
Yeah. This is. Our comments. Okay, so you know what I gotta say though, it was a pretty solid week. I gotta say, with even AEW, I think I'm gonna be a little nice to it on Friday.
Nice. Okay.
But WWE had a good week too. All around, and we're actually going to talk about NXT today. It's going to be fun. We're actually going to squeeze them back in for NXT. Shawn Michaels is like, I thought I was your goat. You never talk about my show. But I am going to. It was Roadblock. But we're going to start with SmackDown. And as always, I think this is now a new tradition. And me being the president of the Dom Dom fan club, I have to start every single AEW Wednesday with Dominic Mysterio. And Dominic Mysterio wrestled Santos Escobar. And really quick, before we go into too much shooting star press, is Escobar a heel still, a face, and is he still part of his faction? Before I jump into it, do you know any of these answers? Because I'm
I have no.
very confused if he
I
just
think he's a face now. I think because
okay.
he came out a week or was it last SmackDown or the SmackDown before where he was talking about respecting your elders and
Yeah,
respecting your
yeah.
father.
And he's fighting for Ray now, and he's
Yeah.
not getting like cheered and stuff. But I don't know. But you know how I feel about that because him doing whatever he's doing right now has taken Selena Vega off my screen. So I think he's
Yeah.
a heel in my opinion. But anyway, oh, by the way, I'm still drinking Prime, by the way. My son has
Nice.
done with my wife during all the sicknesses and my poor wife driving to Walmart to find Prime for my son as she has stomach flu. He's like been loading it up. My fridge is filled with like he found all the bottled ones, the energy drinks, powder pack mixes. So Logan Paul, if you're listening, I'm like loading you up. So if you want to throw a sponsorship our way, or maybe
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
even give a shout out to my son because I've been hitting you up on TikTok a lot, and I'm going to talk about you today and promoting your Prime. My son would appreciate it. He's like the hugest Logan Paul fan. He's actually starting to watch wrestling now because of Logan Paul, which is kind of crazy, right? But that was the point. That's what we always said. It gets people who don't watch wrestling to
Yeah, that's
enjoy
awesome.
wrestling. So Mason's all about it now. He's like, I want to watch Logan Paul kick that guy with the weird beard's butt.
And
That guy in that
shout out to
girl
your
shirt.
wife, man. Let's give a shout out to Mrs. Dudette over there in Cali for driving to Walmart to find Prime for her son while having a stomach bug. That's true love right there.
Right? That's a mom. Back to
That
back day,
is.
she did that too, by the way. So
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, shout out to her. So
I was like at work because I was still trying to work, didn't want to miss too much work, and then coming home, I'm like working while she's like vomiting. Then I stayed home while she was vomiting, and then I took it. Yeah, it's all sorts of fun stuff going on. But anyway, enough of that.
Yeah.
Dom Dom and Escobar. I thought it was a good match. You know, here's the thing is what I'm starting to realize with Dominic Mysterio matches is that I'm starting to realize that people just hate Dominic because they hate Dominic. Just like back in the days when people hated Roman just because they hate Roman. The dude has good matches. He has really, I have yet to see him wrestle in a match that I thought was poor. Every match he has is like a C+ and above, which is good. He's not having like, you know, almost matches and such. He's having some decently good matches. And his frog splash, I'm going to say it, it's on point. He delivers it well. He fully bends in and extends. He lands perfect how he's supposed to land without hurting the person. It looks good. I guarantee you his dad is up in heaven right now looking down very proudly of him. That frog splash is immaculate. And this match was good. I thought it was a good match. I love, and I'm all for, I know people say you don't let your wife or your woman or your mommy fight for you. I think it's awesome that she's now helping him win matches. I think that's how it should be. I think that's the point of this character is that, you know, he's done prison time and if you're not on TikTok, go on TikTok and check out his TikTok because he's been posting all these like
so
workouts
funny.
with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, his like prison workouts, and they are flipping hilarious. If you follow me on TikTok, I have duetted them so you can check them out, but they're pretty damn funny. But I liked the stuff that really got me intrigued was the post-match. I really, really like what they're doing with Ray. And this is like another example where we talk about Bray Wyatt and we talk about how the slow build and people are like, you got to have patience, but it just wasn't intriguing and it still isn't, we'll get into. But this is something that like is building and we're not getting anywhere, but it's intriguing because you really, how bad did you want Ray to punch Dom in the mouth? Even I did. And I'm like a Dom fan. I was like, oh, Ray, just knock him. And he couldn't. And then Dominic basically calls him a little B word and walks away and then bop from behind. So perfectly well done. So, and now it's kind of like the Bloodline storyline, right? Where I don't know where this is going to go. Is he going to hit him beforehand? And that's when they're going to do the match? Are they going to call the match at Mania and say, well, now is he going to do the match because he's sick of it, and then he's going to punch him in the face, and they're going to have a 5-minute stare down before their match starts to heat up. I mean, if you're going to tell me you're not excited for Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, you're lying to yourself, and you're not really invested into wrestling, because this stuff is golden. It's another solid storyline, even with everything with the Judgment Day right now. And I like the start of this. I'm digging it. Go ahead. I'm talking too much. I'm just so excited about it.
No, I think thought it was great. And yeah, I've wanted Rey to punch Dominic in the mouth since his heel turn started back in September at Clash at the Castle. I've been hoping for him to get some revenge, and he hasn't done it. And kudos to Rey for not being able to do it, and that they've held off this long without him putting a hand on him. But there are so many different avenues and angles that this thing can go. What's it going to take for Rey to agree to a match against his son? What's it going to take for him to put his hands on his own son? Is it going to take Dominic hurting Rey's wife? Is it going to take Dominic, hurting Rey's other daughter? Something, I don't know. But there's so many different ways that this thing can go, and I'm stoked about it. And one of my favorite parts of the match was when Escobar just asked Dominic, he was like, "Don't you respect your legacy?" And he was like, "No." It was so it's just so well done. There's the little one-liners and all that. And to me, I'm not comparing it to the Bloodline at all, but similar to Roman Reigns, I think a lot of the best stuff that's going on with this storyline is all the stuff that's done off the microphone. The stuff that Dominic is yelling, the stuff that Rhea Ripley's yelling, even the facial expressions from Rey Mysterio. I think it's all great, and it's been a fantastic angle. I do wish they would hurry up, and Mania is not that far away, so now we kind of got to get to knowing if there's going to be a match between the two or not. But I can't blame. I don't think the build's been bad. I think the build's been great. I'm just ready for them to officially announce that there's going to be a match, and maybe we'll find out tonight.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Because here's the thing, that this match isn't going to WrestleMania sold out, the end, right?
Oh yeah,
it is what it is. So I feel like they can take their time now, because this isn't I think people know what's going to happen, and I think just a couple more. It's just because I really do feel like if Rey pops him before Mania, does that take away the luster? Does that take it away a little bit? I'm not saying it will. I'm just asking you.
Yeah.
Do you think that one pop and then Rey saying I accept and just walking away, and then they don't touch each other again till then, that could work? I mean, I don't know. So, but I kind of want him to come out with a belt and start putting in work on him. At least in the match. I want to see him over his knee, belting him,
with the switch or something. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. They can't do that anymore. Yeah, that's
but no, I do think if I'm torn on that, because
what do you have the next week or two? Mania is still a couple weeks away. So if he popped him tonight, what do you have to build to now?
True. Yeah. Maybe he does it the night before Mania. He pops, and then maybe tonight Dominic continues to goad him into a match, and Rey doesn't accept until the night before or something, and that's when he pops him, and that's when the crowd goes ballistic, and then we'll see more of it the next night or on night 2 of Mania. I don't know, but I'm intrigued, and I think this storyline has been. We're going to talk about this a little later with overrated, underrated, but I think this has been one of the most underrated angles that WWE has. I think it's getting some love and attention, but I think a lot of people are more focused on the Rhea Ripley side of it than they are with Dominic and Rey. So.
I agree. All right.
Do we talk about that opening on SmackDown with Roman and Cody?
I was leaving you all the good stuff this week. So yes, sir.
Yeah. So the SmackDown opened up with the Bloodline. They came out and they did their thing. It was Roman, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman. There was still no Jay. And all of a sudden, right before they could even talk, before they could even say anything, out came Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, the music hit, the adrenaline in my soul, and everyone. He comes out. Cody Rhodes. Yeah. He comes out, interrupts him. I thought that was well done. How he interrupted Roman Reigns, and they came into the ring, and then they had what I thought was a pretty good promo battle. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was pretty good. Roman brought it. I thought Cody, Roman definitely beat Cody in this battle on the mic, but
I think that was the point. But you
Yeah,
continue. Yeah.
but it was they talked a lot about, Roman did a spot on impression of Dusty Rhodes, and they talked a lot about Dusty Rhodes and that whole story, and Roman put the titles down, and he said, "You're not going to like this, but I'm going to do it anyway." He put the belts down on the ground, and then grabbed the mic and said, "What do you want to talk about?" And Roman basically listed off his accolades. He said that he was like, I've main evented Manias, I've main evented this, I've done this, I've won the WWE Championship. What have you done? And have you ever done this? So I thought it was all well done. I thought it was good. My problem with it, and I hadn't noticed this until just now, and I feel like the WWE has done a great job of kind of separating the two. But everything after this was all about Sami Zayn and the Sami Zayn problem. And so that's when it kind of just felt like, okay, Cody's here. We did our thing. Now let's focus on the real story, which is the Sami Zayn, Jey Uso dilemma and the Kevin Owens problem that they have. So it kind of just felt like, I don't know. I that was the only thing I feel like WWE has done a great job of making Cody feel just as important, if not more important, than Sami Zayn, especially with Sami Zayn being as hot as he is. But this was the first time to me where I was like, man, like, okay, like Cody was just here, and Cody and Roman just had a moment, but there's no mention of it the rest of the show. There's no talk about it the rest of the show. The rest of the show is solely dedicated to the Sami Zayn problem and the Jey Uso problem. So that was my only gripe with it. I feel like they could have done a little bit more, but other than that, I thought it was good.
Yeah. It's funny that you said that, but well, I'll get into the segment first. Number one, Roman's Dusty was
Spot
impeccable.
on.
And it was so good that Cody broke character, because you can tell he like felt that. He like, because I know Roman really was close with the family, and I know this is more than, obviously to bring in real life in a story. So I think Cody actually appreciated that, and he smiled and grinned. He couldn't even hold it in. WWE needs to work on those they got those AEW camera angles. You need to stop shooting things where you're not supposed to. But it was well done. I mean, it was everything about the whole, what your dad said about you, nothing, and the whole, that your dad, whatever he didn't teach you, I'll teach you. And then he put his hand out to shake it. I thought that was good. And I did think it got awkward, though, because he kept his hand out there for at least 5 more minutes.
Yeah,
Roman didn't move it. He didn't move. He just kept it there. Like it was just there.
It was out there for at least a good 10 Mississippis or so. It was just like,
it was a while. They kept talking with Cody, and it was still there. But I agree with you, because I really do think Roman, the storyline is a tribute to Dusty. Uncle A says it is, and it's going to be sad when it ends with Roman winning. But I do like that. I mean, I don't like that. What you're saying is that I do think Roman needs to keep Sammy out of his mouth now. I don't think Roman needs to keep telling people, to, fix Sammy. And I think he needs to just stay out of it. I think he needs to worry about Cody only, and let everybody else worry about Sammy. That's what I personally think. And I agree with you. I do think it takes it away. And I think eventually, and what's funny? I don't know if you noticed this or not, but everybody was worried that Sammy was going to take away from Cody's luster. I think Cody's taken away from Sammy's luster. I don't think Sammy's getting pop. And obviously, he's not going to get the Montreal pop. We all know that was why it got he'll never get a pop like that again. But he doesn't feel as big. And we'll talk about it too, because he had a match. And I'm assuming you're going to talk about that match on your end, and I'll let you. But it was, I don't know. But I did like the segment. I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. And I think this was Roman trying to see if he can hang with Cody or not, because people don't think Cody can talk. Cody can talk, man. He's smooth. He's intelligent. He delivers well. He doesn't miss a beat. He knows how to pace himself with the crowd and delivery. And I think this was a moment for him to just let Roman do his thing. And Roman has gotten good, man. I feel like this dude's more savage than MJF, because I feel like MJF's lines are forced a lot of the times when he gets really savage. I feel like Roman is like, he's just
pretty natural with it,
man. Yeah. And they're good. Like even the belt thing, that wasn't like a dang, but it was like a dang. Like you haven't even not only have you not won it, you've never even been a number 1 contender. Like you haven't even been a main event in wrestling. Like it was those were some good burns, and showing that he doesn't belong in the ring with him. And I want us to remember this promo because when we talk about Monday Night Raw, I want to compare this promo to another promo on Raw. So remind me to talk about that. You'll know what promo I'm talking about on Monday Night Raw, but the way that you can bury somebody without burying them. So I want to go back to that in a few. But anyway, I agree with you. I want to talk about because I'm assuming you're going to talk about Sammy's match. So I just want to intertwine two quick segments then. I feel like there's two segments we just need to at least bring up, and we can do it in the amount of time of one. We had Bobby Lashley and Uncle Howdy meeting for the first time, and we had Drew, Sheamus, LA Knight, New Day, Karrion Kross, Shooting Star Press, B-roll. I think
wrestling guy
was there. I mean, Uncle A. I mean, shoot, Zach was there. Everybody and their uncle was there. They were just letting them all come out. But I want to bring those both up really quick because for one, Uncle Howdy and this Bray Wyatt storyline. Let's see what Uncle A is. He's repeating what MJF equals inappropriately savage, Roman equals respectfully. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's like good job. That's like a perfect example. I was there. I thought you were. Oh, you're Uncle Howdy? Oh, no, he wasn't in that segment. But the Uncle Howdy comes out. For one, I don't know who he is. I know people are saying they know, and I don't even want to know. I haven't been, whenever I hear it pop up, I'm not looking at it or reading it. But for one, he doesn't even look scary anymore. He looks stupid with his mask. He looks like a scrawny guy, but he comes out to interrupt Bobby Lashley, literally gets zero offense in, gets his butt whooped, the lights go out, and then he disappears. How did that, I'm just so, I wasn't in it. I would have won it. Nice, Uncle A. I am just so confused on what they're doing with this Bray Wyatt. If you're going to have Uncle Howdy come in, have him beat the bananas out of him, and then as soon as Lashley's about to get offense, cut the lights. So at least you would think like, oh, he was whooping his butt, and then he was smart enough to get away before, like, he literally was just some dude that came and got his butt kicked and then had to turn the lights off to disappear so he didn't keep getting his butt kicked. How did that progress the storyline whatsoever? Secondly, the Drew Sheamus, I thought we were doing Drew Sheamus versus Gunther at Mania. Now they're adding in LA Knight, New Day, and Cross. And supposedly, I think Homeboy got hurt in it in the New Day. Kofi Kingston got hurt in this, and I don't even know what the heck he did. But I just wanted to bring up one thing in this segment because I want to keep talking about it. LA Knight, the ending of LA Knight's career. This dude walked out to almost no reaction. Sorry, LA Knight fans. And I don't know if you noticed it, but he was talking mess to Drew and Sheamus as the whole entire walk. And Drew and Sheamus literally were talking to each other in the ring. They didn't even acknowledge LA Knight once. He was literally talking to nobody. Nobody. They couldn't even, they were bickering and not even listening to him. And then LA Knight comes out and just basically gets embarrassed by New Day. And he's not even being paid. I have no idea what the point of this segment was. And I don't know if they're going to try to add all these people in. And that's the IC match is going to be 10 people, or if it's still going to be a triple threat. It seems like they really want Karrion Kross now to maybe win that belt is what they're leaning to. But I have no idea what's going on. But LA Knight coming out and talking to himself and getting completely ignored was pretty bad. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but the fact that he came out and was like, I deserve a title. And then everybody was like, bro, you haven't even won a match. You've never won. It was just, it was an embarrassing night for LA Knight. So,
yeah, I think what they're doing, as far as I understand, they're doing a fatal 5-way on SmackDown tonight between all 5 of those guys to determine the number 1 contender for the Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. But yeah, the Bobby Lashley thing, that segment, I don't know. It just feels random. The whole pairing of Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt just feels like, oh, we don't have anything for you at WrestleMania. We don't have anything for you at WrestleMania. Let's put you guys together. I mean, it's an odd pairing. It's a weird match, and and the build for it hasn't really been all that great. I'm not as excited about this match as I probably should have been or would have been if this was done a while ago. So I don't know. I didn't like like you said, Uncle Howdy, Uncle Harper, whoever it is, coming out and just beating them down. It was just weird. It was just a bad, I didn't care for it at all. And I know we've got time between now and WrestleMania to right this ship, but it still just feels like a random, odd, bizarre match that's going to occur. And again, it's one of those too where I don't think either guy could afford to take a loss, because Bobby is, I think Bobby has I think he can afford it a little bit more than Bray can. But Bobby, he didn't he won his match at Elimination Chamber by a low blow. He got eliminated pretty early on in the Royal Rumble. He lost he lost his shot at the U.S. Championship. So I do think he's kind of losing his luster a little bit. And so it's another one of those situations where, just like the LA Knight angle with Bray Wyatt, I don't think he can really afford to lose anymore either. So
yeah.
And Bray Wyatt certainly can't afford to lose because of how he was done before.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that segment didn't really do it for me. And then the Intercontinental Championship, I think they're doing a Fatal 5-Way on SmackDown tonight. That's what's going to determine the number one contender. But yeah, I almost feel bad for LA Knight. I really do, because he's not getting the reaction that I thought he was going to get. And he's not. I don't know. I will say, having so many people compete for the Intercontinental Championship, as much as you want to criticize the booking for it and the way it's being handled, you have 5 people who want to compete for this championship. 3 of them are former world champions. So it's kind of elevating the prestige a little bit of the IC title, which I think is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's too many cooks in the kitchen, and I want to see Gunther, I want to see Sheamus, and I want to see Drew. That's what I want to see all day long. And I'll be curious to see how we get there, if we get there at all. But you may be right. They may be giving this title to Karrion Kross, and I hope not.
All right,
I'm still waiting on Karrion Kross. I don't know what's taking longer. Karrion Kross to go after Roman Reigns after he put the clock in the ring when he came back, or Veer to come to the WWE. I don't know which one, which path took longer. But yeah, and then we can close it with SmackDown talking about Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa, the main event. And I was pretty stoked about this match. I thought it was going to be a really good match. I thought it was a good match. I thought Sami brought it. And again, the rest of the story after the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns segment was all about Sami Zayn and the Sami Zayn problem. And that was my only gripe with the whole show was, Cody Rhodes kind of played second fiddle a little bit, but the match itself was good. It was a good match. It was what it was. Solo got the win. It was a tainted win, but still a win nonetheless. And they're booking Solo Sikoa to be a stud. I don't think he's lost since he's been on the main roster. He certainly hasn't taken any pinfalls. I don't even think he's lost a match by disqualification. I think he is a stud, and he is running through everybody. And I thought Sami held his own. And Jimmy came out there and delivered a nice little beat down there to Sami. And then, Sami was able to fend them both off and escape through the crowd. And Roman was then seen seething in the background. So, and that's how it ended. That's how SmackDown ended. So I thought it was good. The theme of the night, which we didn't really talk about, was that if Jimmy didn't get Jey Uso back in line with the bloodline, he wasn't going to take it out on Jey. Roman was going to take it out on Jimmy. And so the whole point of the night was for Jimmy to go after Sami, and to do everything he can to get Jey Uso back. And, it was a filler episode when it comes to that, because we didn't get Jey. We didn't get much of an angle, but Monday Night Raw, they sure did deliver. So that was
we're gonna fade into that right now. And I'll just do one quick point. I liked everything about the match. I like the beat down, Sami getting away, this and that. I didn't like Sami taking the L though. I didn't think he needed to take the L. I'm not saying Solo should have taken the L, but why not just have an I mean, they said this match didn't mean anything before it even started, so they could have just done that. Then Sami started getting some offense in, and then they would have just beat him down, and then he escaped.
Have it in a no contest or something.
Yeah, Sami cannot be losing right now. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, man, Monday Night Raw. And I'm going to once again leave you with the bloodline. I'm going to start off with my prime boy. I want to talk about this Seth Rollins and Logan Paul segment. because I know this whole thing was about Jay and so on, but there was other things that did happen, and I enjoyed this segment, and I enjoyed it a lot actually because well, I'm going to talk right off the bat. There was one thing I didn't like. This was a perfect example of a WWE crowd trying to take over the show, and they did
Mm-hmm.
that. And I know Seth like started it, and he was trying to get them to do his song, but they would not stop after that. And everything Logan Paul was saying, and he was saying some good lines and some burners and things that were relevant to their story and him accepting the match. And it was completely unheard by the crowd because they were just doing his song for like 8 minutes into their like promo. And so I think it took away watching it on TV how good everything was. So I just wanted to say that I hate when the crowd takes over. Do your song, do your thing. When they start talking, shut up. Boo them in between when you want to, then shut up. Like I want to hear this. Like they're there for a reason. So, but kudos to people liking his song more than I mean, shoot, Seth Rollins' song is probably bigger than Judas now on AEW. Wrestling Guy says Rollins had to cut them up. He did, and they still kept doing it. They were still
Mm-hmm.
chanting things to him and wasn't letting him like deliver his message. But anyway, if you go back and really listen to it, Logan Paul did great. He delivered. Like we already know he's athletic and he has adapted well into the ring, but now he's starting to kind of get the promo segment thing down. And I thought Seth Rollins killed it. I think Logan Paul killed it. I think Seth Rollins is once again proving that you can put him with literally anybody and he is going to make it a main event type of feel. I'm intrigued to see them go at it. I'm not digging the knockout punch thing. I dug when he did it, but I've never liked it. I didn't like when Big Show did it. I didn't like when people like it's there's no like I don't know. It's just so stupid because this is wrestling, right? This isn't, and Logan Paul's
Right.
not even
Yeah.
that. He had like a
Yeah.
couple boxing matches. It's not like he's like his brother or something. You know what I mean? Yes, Uncle A, that match is going to be a banger for sure. But I think it'll be Logan Paul's best match, including the Roman Reigns one. We'll see. But he like hit him, and you can tell how far off he was or whatever. But I got to tell you this: Seth Rollins sold that stuff like he was shot by a gun. Seth Rollins took that punch and fell exactly how you're supposed to fall if you were like knocked out for real. He fell flat on his face. He laid there. And that line by Logan Paul, when he was like, when you wake up, I'll let you know that we have a match at WrestleMania or whatever he did. And he like threw the mic at him. I just thought it was
And
awesome. The
said bye
Miz
bye, bitch. Yeah.
bye bye. Yeah. And then he redid
Yeah.
the bye bye bitch. Everything was like perfect. Once again, side storylines. This is what AEW is missing. WWE is doing it amazingly like they used to do back in the Attitude Era and the 80s, where you don't just have to have the A storyline. You have a B and a
Mm-hmm.
C and a D and everything else. And there's other storylines going. I'm so intrigued by this match now as well to see where it goes, see who's going to win. Is Seth just going to take another L? We'll see. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought this was good. I thought even the Miz being there too kind of served as a little extra buffer because he
Mm-hmm.
knows both guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's been taking the curb stomp from Seth Rollins for like the last 9 weeks or so, and then
Mm-hmm.
um, he had the relationship previously with Logan Paul too. So I thought having the Miz in there doing Miz TV with them, I thought that was a little nice added touch there. But I have no doubt. I think this match is going to be a banger. And I found it weird that all of a sudden Logan Paul is a heel, which he's been kind of that baby face
Yeah.
role and I don't know if he was just playing the heel because of the fans and they were taking over everything,
Mm-hmm.
or if he's playing the heel because Seth Rollins is the baby face or what. But I don't know. I couldn't tell if he was like legitimately frustrated with the crowd, so he just went off on them because
Yeah.
they were taking over. But they were even chanting like "F you, Logan" and all that, and so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But other than that, I thought it was good. It was a great segment. I have no doubt that these two guys are going to bring it at WrestleMania. I think I love what Seth Rollins is doing. He's somebody too that he's proven that he doesn't necessarily need a title to be one of the best in the industry, or one of the best in the business, and one of the best in
Mm-hmm.
the company. He's gotten over without a title, and I think it says a lot about him. And I think again, this match is going to be it's gonna print money. I think it's going to be a really good match, and I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to see more of this stuff. I hope we see more interactions between Seth and Logan going into Mania.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I mean, Seth will get his comeuppance at least once before it. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about that ending, the swerve, the moment that tugged at the heartstrings. And we've talked about before how the acting in this storyline has been truly amazing. It's been probably some of the best acting that you've seen in wrestling. From a wrestling standpoint, the acting has been A+. Maybe from like a TV show or movie standpoint, maybe it hasn't been that great. But I think it's been, from a wrestling standpoint, it's been some of the best acting I've seen in quite a while. And this story with Jay Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo, Sammy, all of it has been fantastic. Roman Reigns has been great, and Roman, was on the show. He wasn't on the show. He wasn't even there, and he was still a big factor on the show. And um, we got to see the greatness of that acting in the main event with Sami Zayn had a match with Jimmy Uso, and then Jay Uso came out, and it looked like him and Jimmy and Jay had a weird embrace. It was I was like, is he gonna rip the shirt off of him? Are they going to a middle school dance because they're like standing like 6 inches apart? They have their hands on each other's shoulders. I was like, what is happening right now? And then he patted him on the chest, and then he left the ring, and everyone thought, oh my gosh, he's not going back to the bloodline. This is crazy. And then out, Sami Zayn was there on the stands, and Jay Uso shook his hand. I think he hugged him, and then they threw the ones up, and it looked like Jay Uso and Sami Zayn were going to be a unit, and they were going to be together. Everyone was cheering. Everybody was excited. It was like, holy crap, what an amazing twist in this story, because nobody saw this coming. And then boom, super kick, the old super kick from Jay Uso to Sami Zayn. And then, the stuff off the microphone has been fantastic. You hear Jay yelling, "You think I was going to team with you? You think I was going to side with you? This is family stuff. This is family. He's my family. You ain't my family." And, they continued their beatdown. And then Solo and Jimmy got involved. And yeah, it was a poor Sammy moment. He got yet another beatdown from the bloodline. But then like Cody Rhodes came out and made the save. And of all people, I was thinking it was going to be
KO.
I was thinking it was going to be KO, but Cody Rhodes came out right as the show went off the air. So yeah, I thought this was well done. All of it was well done. The swerve, the twist, Jay Uso's back with the bloodline, or so we think. I still don't. And again, we talk about how many angles and avenues this whole storyline can go. We don't know. They're probably gonna be something on SmackDown tonight. But just because he's back with Jimmy doesn't necessarily mean he's back with the bloodline. It doesn't necessarily mean he's falling in line with what Roman Reigns is saying, or he's picking up what Roman Reigns is putting down. Because remember last week on SmackDown, which we just talked about, if Roman told Jimmy, if you don't get Jay back in line, I'm not taking it out on him. I'm taking it out on you. So maybe he's only aligning with Jimmy to save, or only aligning with Roman to save Jimmy. So that's my theory, at least. But I don't know. Well, this whole storyline has me intrigued, has me on the edge of my seat every time I watch it. I have people talking to me in the background every time this stuff is on. And I'm like, shh, quiet. I'm watching. It's Bloodline. It's because that's just how good it's been. It has been fantastic.
Yes, sir. Bloodline. I agree, man. This was, every time I think it's very true, Mr. B-roll. I think it's, every time they do a segment like this, I'm always like, that's the best segment they've done. Then they do another segment, I'm like, damn, that's the best segment they've done. Then they do another segment, I'm like, damn, that's the best. And then they just did this, and I'm like, damn, that's the best. They just continue where they're going with this. I have to say, for one, I have learned in WWE that if you are going to portray someone, you either A, hit him in the back with a chair, or B, super kick the bananas out of them. Those are the only two ways you can portray someone.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels style or the Shield style. You don't get any other move.
There is no in between.
No, I think you have to like approve through Triple H. He's like, oh, I'm going to turn on my guy today. He's like, all right, chair or super kick. and they draw it out of a hat, or I don't know what they do, but every single time it has to be one of those things. But I think with the whole you were talking about Jay and his weird emotions, Jay has been a really, really good actor. He has. They all have been. Jimmy and Sammy and Roman and Solo and all of them. But I don't think Jay knows how to show sadness and frustration properly, and I think that was the problem. He like doesn't know how to like do it. He kind of was like
Mhm.
trying, like he like just acts like he's pooping a little bit and like held his things, and then I don't know why he decided to give all the ladies in the crowd, our fellas, a nip slip from his twin. He like kind of like pulled his nipples out, and then he like let go of him, and then he like I'm like like you said, it turned into like a high school dance that then you kind of got like a little too into it. So you like started to go for it. And then you realized, no, I'm at a dance and I have to ask this girl for permission. It was a
Yeah.
very weird moment between them two. And then he patted him and it didn't really look like he was leaving. It didn't look like he was betraying him. It just looked like he was like, I got to go. And then he
Yep.
left, and Sami Zayn had been standing there for the last 5 minutes. I didn't know that. And then that thing, it was like, oh, gosh, it was like a roller coaster. It was just literally like they went and you're like, uh-oh, here it is. Then they like started hugging and you're like, oh, okay, he's all right. All right, they're hugging. Then they threw up the ones and I'm like, all right, they're back. This is like the new blood, like the Bloodline Wolfpack, right? I was like, this is what we're gonna get, like the Bloodline Wolfpack. They're gonna turn to the white and black and have Bloodline merch and be going all crazy. And as soon as I'm like running all the things in my head, like Jay changed his face and then you were like, ugh. And then he went back, and then you're like, ah. And then he kicked him in the face, and you're like, cool beans.
What? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And not only that, he threw him in the ring, and Jimmy started getting some licks, and Jay shoved him off and wanted those.
Mhm.
He wanted those lickings. Like he went from straight like we're gonna be besties to like, no, I'm the one who needs to pummel you to death. It was impactful. It was awesome. Cody saving was fine with me because he didn't touch anybody and they backed away, showing the importance of Cody, that he's above them. Cody's fighting Roman. They don't want to touch with Cody. Cody's the man, kind of building that intrigue. But I'll end it with this, though, is that no matter what happens, no matter where this bloodline is going, main event Jay is coming back. And Jay and Roman will wrestle sooner or later. And he might be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns eventually. But other
I
than
wouldn't hate
that,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So let's jump into, because I know we'll have more in a second. I want to talk about everybody's bald boy, John Cena, Mr. Balding himself. You can't see me. And Austin Theory. So John Cena was coming back tonight.
Mhm.
And this is where I told you I want you to bring back the promo we were talking about on SmackDown between Roman and Cody. And this, I'm not a John Cena fan. If you know anything about me, you know I am not. And I don't hate on the guy. I watch his shows. I like him. I've seen all his movies. I think he's a great Samaritan, a great human. Even though Nikki Bella made him look like a weirdo and a crazy person, I still think that he's a good human being. I like everything about John Cena minus his wrestling career. I just don't like it. I never have. And this is a prime example of why I have never liked John Cena's wrestling career. This guy comes out, okay? Austin Theory comes out with him, and Theory's doing his thing and he's trying. It was a little weird that he was like pumping the crowd up for John Cena, I guess, because he's trying to like entice him into a match. That was the theme, that like, oh, if I kiss his ass, then everybody will root for me. And it was weird. Also, Austin Theory, bro, you can't grow a beard like this, so you need to give it up. His beard is disgusting. I don't know. For a good-looking dude, sometimes a beard can hide that fact. He needs you trim it down or something, but it's like all like ratty. And anyway, John Cena spent, how long was this promo? 10 minutes? 12 minutes?
It was yeah, about 15 minutes maybe. I don't know. It felt long.
Okay, so if it was 15 minutes, I would say 13 of it was John Cena. And I know people don't like the word burying. I don't mean this in the literal sense, but he was 100% burying Austin Theory. And I saved a thing on here because obviously my memory is not that great, but we were talking about Roman Reigns and how he was talking down on Cody Rhodes and about not winning the belt and about how his dad, blah, 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 and about how he's going to be there to help him. You've never main evented. None of that made me think, okay, Cody Rhodes is not deserving. Cody Rhodes is, if he loses at Mania, it's not because of this. Like, he's giving it his all. Roman's that guy, but so is he. And now he's earned this moment. That's what it felt like, correct? It didn't feel like he was like, oh, well, now if like he loses, he's nothing. John Cena came out here. Let me just, some of these lines that he would said. Let me see here. The Authority. Okay, so Cena said that he's a pair of trunks away from being a jabroni. Okay. He says that Theory has the best name in WWE history, but only because he's a theory, meaning he's not good enough to be known as a wrestler. He's great to look at. He has no heart. Okay. John Cena always likes to say people have no heart. Theory isn't saying any Theory finally defends himself and brings up a bald spot because his bald spot is going to ruin John Cena's career. What does John Cena then talk about? Stuff from behind the scenes, and basically says, yeah, well, at least I don't get piped in noise to make my matches feel important. So now anybody who thinks that is happening, 100% think that's like when a rapper comes up with a diss rap and says you're a ghostwriting, people ghostwrite for you. And even if that rapper's like, no one ghostwrites for, that's forever. That now you're a person who isn't writing your own lyrics. People are now forever going to think he would pipe in his matches. So like, once again, John Cena always, and what else did he say? He said that, I would much, okay, there's a pipe and fake noise. Sorry, I'm trying to go through this. There was one more that because he said a lot. He said the end line where basically if they fight at WrestleMania and Theory loses, he loses everything. Then he'll have to go out the next night on Raw and explain what happened. So basically, if there is any chance that Austin Theory is losing this match, if there's any chance he's losing this match, any chance, Austin Theory is not going to I know I've said this once before, and I could be off base, but this is John Cena. Look at his track record. Look at Wade Barrett. Look at many others, not just Wade Barrett, that John Cena has come out and cut personal. He tried to do it with The Rock. He tried to cut these like personal promos. I've never liked Cena for that. The point of John Cena right now is to come in to dog him, yes, but to dog him in a sense that's building him. So that way, when he wins at Mania, he feels important. I don't know if John Cena thinks that by bringing in real life situations and talking about him personally is going to build him if he wins. But all I'm saying is that I don't know if Theory's gonna win. Nobody can say that for sure. And if he doesn't, this is a moment that we should all remember. I didn't like it at all. And maybe I'm off base, and maybe it's just because I don't like John Cena so much, but I just feel like anytime John Cena cuts a promo, it's always like this. It's always personal. It's always attacking his character, his gimmick, his ability of I forgot who he did it to recently, not too long ago before Theory. He was doing it to that guy too. He just always
Roman Reigns.
He did it. Oh, yes. And Roman Reigns couldn't even cut a promo because of it. He
lost his
Yeah, he just goes so personal, and it's not, once again, not MJF personal. This is like legit, like, dude, you're like telling people he probably does get piped in noise. Like, why would you? I don't know. That's my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Hambone's at the party. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, Hambone? And yeah, he basically said what I was going to say. I think Cena made some good points, but it wasn't the best look for one John Cena. I think I don't know. It was just I don't like it. Now I think they're putting a lot of trust into Austin Theory because we still have 3 weeks or so until WrestleMania, and I don't think we're going to see John Cena again until Mania. So Theory basically has to carry this feud and this program by himself until then. So, we'll see what Theory can do. But man, that was brutal. That was brutal to see. Theory's an up and comer. He's a young guy. He's a young stud. This is whether you like him or not, the guy can go in the ring. He's one of the top heels in the company. And that was just, I don't know. I didn't like that at all. I thought it was even the stuff at the end where he he was like, the capital of Thailand and, popped him in the nuts and then said, he was like, you need to work on your effort down there too. It was just like little things like just, I don't know. It was that whole thing was weird. And then he brought out Cody Rhodes, randomly
for no reason.
For no reason. And then it goes to commercial. It was like, oh, okay, we're not even gonna get Cody Rhodes against Austin Theory in a match or something. Like, no, it's just they come out and embrace and hug, and then it goes to commercial. And that, I think that one bugged me the most of anything, because I don't think Cody Rhodes is already over. I don't think he needs the Cena rub. He doesn't need the rub from John Cena. So I felt like that was kind of WWE's way of saying, this is Cody. Cody's our guy. Cody's going to be here. And John Cena was our guy. So that was kind of the passing of the torch, if you will. And yeah, I didn't care for this segment at all. I know a lot of people loved it. A lot of people like seeing Theory get buried like that, but not like that. Not like that.
And you know who needed a rub? Austin Theory, not Cody Rhodes. So
yeah,
that's what John Cena should have done. Like I said, it doesn't make me interested in the match. It doesn't make me interested in what's going on. And now it just makes me not like Cena more. So,
and Cena's he's a tale of two promos. He either goes too cheesy or he's too personal. And it's just like, come on, you find the middle ground. I mean, like the last time we saw him, he was Cena Claus is coming to town. You know, it was like he cut that promo before the tag match with KO and Roman and Sammy when Roman and Sammy were getting along right before New Year's. And then it's just Cena Claus and all the PG stuff. And now it's, you know, piped in crowd noise and, you know, work on the size of your your nether region.
How does he do that? Is he Austin Powers? Does he need to go get a pump?
I know.
I didn't know that was a thing that we could do enlargements. I don't.
I know,
because I don't need it. But no, I'm just. But like, what's the? I didn't. And
I'm gonna start doing some Google searches over here.
John Cena pump. But like, and that's what the tag. But I don't know. And once again, too, like, because we've been talking for 51 minutes. We still got NXT in another part of Raw, so we gotta get going, but a lot of stuff happened, like I said. But this, I also didn't like that John Cena said, the reason why I don't want to wrestle you is because you're not on my level. You basically just said, and then you accepted the match. So basically, I want to watch a match at WrestleMania, to watch a guy who's out of his league, who's just going to lose to this guy, wrestle. Why would you? And he does that all the time, too. You can't, I'm too good for you. What? Make it feel like it mattered. Even Roman said Cody like it mattered. He dogged him, but he didn't say like, you know, I'm just a walk in the park. You know, like you can't just say I'm gonna win. It makes no, like, what's the point then? This isn't March Madness. We're not hoping for like a Cinderella buzzer shot. Like I don't get it. When a heel says it, it's different. If Austin Theory would have said you're an old man and you're not in my league, that makes a little bit more sense because Cena can be like, heck to the no. But there was nothing in Cena's promo that I think made anybody, casual or not, think I want to watch this match. But
no, not at all. And then the theory line about the bald spot, I was just like, all of it. You could tell he was trying to come up with a zinger, and that's all he came up with. It wasn't a good look for any of them. It was just a bad moment. So I know a lot of fans loved it, but this one didn't. That's for sure.
Agreed.
Man, a lot of stuff did happen on Raw. I'm trying to remember what happened. Let's talk a little bit about, and then we can wrap it up. Let's just talk KO and Sammy, because I know we talked a little bit about Sami Zayn and the turn with Jey Uso there at the end, and I thought that was how well done it was. But also in the opening match, KO and Solo Sikoa had a pretty solid opener, a pretty good match. It was I thought it was probably another great match from Solo. They're building him up, but to do big things whenever this bloodline story breaks up. That's for sure.
I agree.
And KO got, unlike Sami Zayn, KO didn't take an L.
Right.
It was done. I mean, he won by disqualification, and that's how Sami Zayn should have won on SmackDown. You're right about that. But the big thing for me is Sami Zayn came out to make the save and got a huge pop from the crowd.
He did.
And I thought that was pretty cool. And then KO is still continuing his, I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to take the bloodline down without you. And he walked away. Sami offered his hand and KO didn't take it. So they're still beefing. But I don't know. Wrestling Guy brought this up. There was an Easter egg segment later on in the night where I think it was Rick Boogs was talking to somebody, but in the back you could see
he was
Cody
talking
Rhodes.
To your bestie. Yeah.
He was talking to Elias. Yeah. Who, like, don't even get me started on him. But there was a moment with KO talking to Cody Rhodes, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, are they is Cody the glue that's going to bring this team together? Is Cody going to be he came out and made the save at the end of the night? He is he going to be the one that brings Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back together to challenge the Usos? I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting thing on a night full of interesting things in WWE.
Yeah, I like this. I didn't notice that. I heard about it later on, and
yeah, I didn't notice it at
I
first
didn't
either.
notice it either. By the way, Rick Boog, somebody needs to put a cup under his lower region and let him pee in it so we can figure out what's going on before that dude
he's
kills himself. I mean, that ain't natural, my friends. But anyway, he was trying to lift up a truck. Like we've been there, done that. Thanks, Braun Strowman. But I do like this, and I like the build because they're definitely hinting at them tagging at Mania. It might not happen, but they're definitely hinting at it because that's why they're doing the whole, or for KO to help him win at Mania. Either way, but I like the build. Once again, another story that we continue to build and build and build and build. And I'm all for it. It was a great stuff. Great stuff. I agree. And I like that this story it's like a tree, right? It's like schism. It's got four, four roots and one tree. It's a great stuff going on with the bloodline. Speaking of schism, let's jump into some NXT because I don't want to miss NXT. I know we're like
we've
4 minutes away, but we got to do it. But this was Roadblock, so this is their fake, pay-per-views. And boy, was it some good stuff. I'm just going to bring up 3 quick things I liked, and then you can say what you liked, and we can move on. But the Grayson Waller effect happened, obviously. I thought it was really great stuff. I thought HBK was on point. I thought he delivered a great promo. I like that Grayson Waller kept getting upset and bitter and acting like a child. And I like that HBK basically said, everybody's been trying to drive backup Brinks trucks to get me to wrestle at WrestleMania. And I say no, but you know what? I'm going to say yes to you. And basically said that. And we thought, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. And then he brought out Johnny Gargano. I don't mind Johnny Gargano because he's drowning on the big stage. He needs something to do. I'm pretty sure him and HBK are close. I don't think HBK trained him, but I know they were doing a lot of stuff together. And I know that's like his hero. So it's good to see him kind of back him up. And also don't forget that Grayson Waller was the one who basically sent Gargano to the other show. Last time they met, Waller was like putting a beat down on him. So it was good storyline. I'm all for it. Dolan versus Jane. I was very excited for this match, and they put on like a 5-minute match that ended in a random roll up, or was that her finisher? I have no idea what the heck happened. I thought that was atrocious. I don't know what the hell they were doing to try to build these two. I thought they could have done better. At least JC Jane put a beat down afterwards. And then the Braun and Carmelo promo, we finally got it. I like that it's finally official. Carmelo's going to win that belt in WrestleMania or the night before WrestleMania. And I thought the promo was good too. It was very Cody and Roman, very respectful, but yet we mean business. So what do you think? Or were you going to talk about any of those 3 things? Something else? I don't know.
Yeah. I was going to, for one split second, I thought we were getting HBK coming back into the ring. And I think I would have been excited about that, but I also would have been a little nervous about that because the last time we saw him in the ring was at Crown Jewel, I think it was, like, feels like forever ago, against Kane and The Undertaker. And it was not a good match. It was not a good match from all 4 of those guys: Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and The Undertaker. But yeah, I like Johnny Gargano. He hasn't done anything on the main roster since his random return, and I think this gives him something to do. This gives him an opportunity to go back to NXT and go back home, if you will. So I like that. And then I did notice that Braun Breaker, over the last couple of weeks, he's starting to get booed a lot. It seems like the crowd is starting to turn on him a little bit, and maybe they're just over him, or maybe they just want a new champion. But that's always a little sign of concern when your top guy is supposed to be the big baby face in the company is the crowd's starting to turn on him. And we'll see what happens at Stand and Deliver, but I'm excited. That match between Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, I have no doubt, is going to be a banger. I think it might be match of the weekend. It could very well easily be match of the weekend during Mania weekend, but I'm excited about it. I am.
And I am sad that once Carmelo Hayes wins that belt, Braun's going to leave getting booed out of the building, it's going to be kind of sad because the crowd is definitely over him. The thing is, he hasn't done much, right? I mean, he's just the same kind of dude. And I think they'll love him in Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and him and Rick Boogs can hang out or whatever. But I don't think and Elias.
There's a theory going around, and no pun intended, but that John Cena is going to win the U.S. title at WrestleMania, and then do an open challenge the month on the Raw after Mania, and Braun Breaker is going to answer it and take the belt off of Cena.
Fantastic. That'd be perfect because, you know, Austin Theory wasn't ready, shouldn't have been there, and has a small penis. So, I mean, good luck to you, Austin Theory, after WrestleMania.
But we'll give Braun Breaker the rub, but not Theory.
Yeah. All right. Well, that covered our week. That was exciting. A lot of stuff happened. I thought all 3 shows were good. I thought we got good story.
Yeah, Raw was really good in particular.
I mean, you can't go wrong, right? It's Mania season. We need to get the show going. It's always the best at this. And now it is segment time. Segment time. It's segment time. It's the dude.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Time. I don't. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying here. 2 dudes segment time. So today we are bringing back our overrated, underrated, or properly rated, because you have to be Switzerland every once in a while. And we are going to do it with the announced WrestleMania matches. To now, maybe they'll change before the next couple weeks, but we want, and as always, overrated, underrated, properly rated. I'm going off of what I'm hearing people say, what I feel like the crowd's reacting to, and do I think this is it overrated? Like, why are you so excited? Underrated, like you should be more, or nah, it's getting the fair treatment. So I'm going to go through them all. And as always, I'll say it and you'll get to go first, as always, Mr. Shooting Star Press. So let's start with the host. For one, do we need one? Do we get one every year now? And so The Miz is the host. What do you think about that? What are you thinking?
Oh, man. I actually think this is underrated. I think I think, you know, he came out and announced a few weeks ago that he was the host of Mania. And then he got curb stomped by Seth Rollins, and, you know, Seth Rollins kind of stole his thunder. And then this past week, it was the Logan Paul, Seth Rollins moment with The Miz. I actually think Miz being the host, I think he hasn't been doing much on the main roster. I think this is a way to get him on the show. And I think, you know, I think it's going to lead to a moment between a legend or two with The Miz. Maybe Stone Cold comes out and stuns The Miz, or maybe The Rock comes out and rock bottoms The Miz, or maybe, you know, maybe Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair or somebody comes out at WrestleMania, and, you know, we get an interaction between The Miz and, you know, somebody, I don't, not Hulk Hogan. I don't really want to see Hulk Hogan, but, you know, another legend that we all want to see.
Yeah.
But, but still, but like, I think, you know, I think that's pretty underrated. I think it's going to lead to some, you know, because he's still a heel, and if he can bring out even like the Undertaker could come out, or one of the Hall of Fame inductees could come out if they ever do the Hall of Fame.
I was about to ask you that.
Yeah. If they, like, you know, maybe if they induct Batista, maybe him and Batista have a moment. I don't know. I just think it's opening the doors for, you don't necessarily need to see a legend actually wrestle or be involved in the card at WrestleMania, but it's opening the doors for The Miz to get involved with somebody that the crowd loves. And I think that's always a positive sign. So I think this is pretty underrated. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it.
All right. I'm going to say it's overrated only because I don't like a host. This isn't the
Oscars
and the Academy
I'm with
Awards.
You on that. Yeah.
And when they did it with The Rock, it felt okay because I was like, all right, you want him to do something. He's going to come out. I don't think The Miz it's not like when The Miz comes out to host, people are going to be like, yeah, like we'll be there. I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't know. I just don't feel like that's like, I feel like if you're going to have a host, it needs to be somebody that this crowd is going to be like electric for, like Batista. And I know he couldn't be the host, but something like in that, someone that people might be excited to see for a few, you know what I mean, with a personality.
Yeah. So
I'm just going to say overrated, not because of The Miz, because I love The Miz. First ballot Hall of Famer, 100%. I'm over the host. And I mean, is he going to do wardrobe changes? But I am intrigued with you saying about the getting beat up. That'll probably happen. But yes, we're like, 3 weeks away? 3 more Mondays until.
Yeah, and we don't know anything about the Hall of Fame.
One Hall of Famer. Like, usually these things have been done announced, like, at all. So I'm a little bit curious here. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go through these matches. We're not going to do complete rumored matches. If we do rumored matches, it's going to be It's pretty official. All right, Ray and Dom, what you thinking?
Man, I think this one's properly rated.
Okay.
I think the story has been underrated between Ray and Dom, because I think it's it's been about Rhea Ripley, it's been about Finn Balor and about Edge, but I think the match itself, Ray and Dom, will be properly rated. I think if I think both guys are going to bring it. I'm excited to see where they go with Ray getting his hand. How does Ray get his hands on Dominic? Where do they go from there? Dominic, in his antics, he's going to have to fight this one on his own probably, because Rhea is going to be consumed with Charlotte Flair and Finn is going to be consumed with Edge. And so he may have Damian Priest in his corner, but he's probably going to have to do a majority of this on his own. So I'm curious to see how they do it. But yeah, I think this is properly rated. I think it's, I don't think it's too over and I don't think it's too under.
Okay. Yeah, I'm leaning towards, I don't know. Should we disagree every time? No. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go a little bit underrated only because I think people aren't giving Dominic enough respect. I think
Yeah.
the only people who really want to see this match are people who are hoping for Dominic to get his comeuppance and to see Ray put him down. But I think this is underrated for the fact that I think it's going to be a really good match. And if you talk about how, like, when people have the best matches, right, minus Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, it's usually best friends, Ciampa and Gargano, or, like brothers, like when Owen and Bret wrestled and such like that. Have we ever had a father-son match in the history of wrestling, or at least big time wrestling, like WWE or WCW or AEW? I don't think we
I
have.
don't think so. No.
So I think, I mean, if anyone's going to have a good match, I mean, Ray's been training this dude since day one. You know what I mean? So I feel like, I think people are sleeping on it. So I'm going to go a little bit underrated. Here's one that we'll probably agree on: Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt.
Oh man, overrated. This match just feels random. It feels thrown together. It, like I said earlier, it feels like we don't have anything for Bray at Mania. We don't have anything for Bobby at Mania. Let's put you guys together and throw some stuff against the wall and see what sticks. And we're gonna do the Muscle Man dance, and we're gonna bring back all these characters of Bray Wyatt that have nothing to do with his current character. So overrated, way overrated.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hate it because I like Bobby Lashley, and I think he deserves better than this.
No, I agree with you. It was definitely just randomly put together, and I even though nobody cares about it, I still think it's overrated. Finn Balor versus Edge. Okay, do that one first, and then the Demon versus Brood Edge. Go.
Okay, Finn Balor versus Edge, I think, is underrated. I think, we still haven't seen much of ever since Balor challenged Edge. We haven't really seen much of the two. I know we have 3.5 weeks until Mania now, so a lot can change between now and then. But I actually think, we talk about long-term storytelling in wrestling, and I think that this one is one of the most one of the longest term stories that we've had. This has been going on since Extreme Rules. This has been going on since before that, because Edge brought the Judgment Day into the WWE and they turned on him. So this is another example of long-term storytelling that's going to culminate at WrestleMania. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about it, because I think people are focusing more on Rhea Ripley and Mommy and Dominic and Ray. And so I think this one's flying under the radar a little bit. And as far as the idea of Brood Edge versus Demon Balor, I think that idea is overrated. I want to see regular Edge versus regular Balor. The Demon doesn't really do it for me. And the Brood thing, I don't really think that fits with Edge's gimmick or character at all. He's only done it like one other time since he was in the Brood, and that was in that feud against Seth Rollins where he dropped all the blood on him. But other than that, like, it just, I don't know. You talk about random. I think that would be a pretty random thing.
I agree with you. And it's not like Brood Edge was this like phenomenal, like
superstar.
No. Brood Edge was like the worst Edge ever. I mean, the Brood was fun and stuff, but it's not like he was out here like winning like titles and stuff. He did all that.
Yeah.
The Brood was,
and for the longest time, I forgot he was in the Brood. So
yeah, it wasn't that great. I don't know how I feel about this match, honestly, just because they've wrestled already before and this and that. I'll go with overrated, just for the fact that I'm really hoping Finn Balor gets the win. I think he needs
Yeah, he needs to.
I don't think there's any other way. And I think this will help. I think it needs to be, like I said a long time ago, a Judgment Day WrestleMania, and that's what I'm hoping for. So,
yeah. And one more thing the reason why I think it's also underrated. You talked about Finn Balor. This might be Edge's last WrestleMania, and there's rumors that he is like winding his career down, his second part of his career, that he may retire later on this year for like on his own terms. And so, this may be his last WrestleMania, and that's something that we're definitely not talking about at all.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. All right, we got Damage Control, if you know who they are, versus Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch, and Lita. We knew it was good.
Is there an I don't care option for this? Because I do not. This is going to be the match where I may go get a hot dog or something during
another beer. Yeah,
another beer, a hot dog. I'll go to the merch table.
We'll watch Trish come out at least, and then
I'll watch Trish, and I'll check out Lita.
Yeah, she's doing all right still. Yeah,
Lita,
I agree.
But but no, I think this is way overrated. I think I don't want to see this. I don't care, and it's the booking. It's the booking of Bayley and Damage Control that has me. I have zero interest in this. Because I know the outcome is going to be Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus and Lita are going to get the win because Bayley and Damage Control can never win. So,
I think this is the funeral. I think this is it, and I think after this match, Bayley turns on Damage Control.
Something they need to do something to get me interested again.
Yeah, this is the end of it. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins.
Oh man, I think this is underrated. I think this could be a real. I think people hate Logan Paul for the sake of hating Logan Paul, and people love Seth Rollins because he's Seth freaking Rollins. But I think this has the potential to be one of the best matches from Mania weekend. And you said it, and Wrestling Guy said it, and a few other people have said it, that this might be Logan Paul's best match, and better than the Roman Reigns match. And Logan Paul he's a stud. This may be his thing. He may be actually really good at this, and so I think this is underrated. I really do. I think it's has potential to be match of the weekend. I know I said that about Gargano or Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes, but I think this also has potential to be match of the weekend.
Yeah, I think this match steals WrestleMania both nights. Yeah, for sure. Cody and Roman might be the better story, and we might get that, or if other ones, but this will be the best like pure match of the weekend easily. I think it's super underrated just because people hate on Logan Paul as well. So the true main event of WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
Oh, overrated. I don't want to. This is another one. I don't care. I don't want to see this. There's no story. There's no build. This is, the only thing I want to see is Lesnar F5 Omos. I think that would be pretty historic and pretty epic if he can do it. But other than that, I have no interest in this match, and so I think it's way overrated.
Here's the thing. What's the point of this match? Because is Omos going to win? No. And if Brock's going to lose to Omos, and if Brock beats Omos, I'm just very confused. If you needed to get Omos on the card, you could have put him anywhere else. My other fear too is that Brock Lesnar takes people to Suplex City. Is he going to take Omos to Suplex City? Not because I don't think he's not big enough. Like, I don't know if Omos is good enough to be able to handle him having to lift him and suplex him. That's a move that he's probably never had done. So unless they're practicing it right now, I don't understand how this match is going to work out at all. I'm not intrigued. Yeah. It's super overrated. Or maybe it's properly rated because everybody thinks it stinks. So
true.
Either way. All right, we're into title matches. Asuka versus Bianca for Bianca's title.
Underrated. I think it's time we have a new women's champion on the Raw brand. Bianca's held it for long enough, but I think what they've done with Asuka since the Royal Rumble, when they brought back the Kana gimmick, I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. I think people are kind of sleeping on it a little bit, and I think we're going to kind of get a bigger version of that character at WrestleMania, and I think she's going to show more of that side. And I think Asuka's going to get the moment she should have gotten a few years ago when she lost the title, or when she lost her title match after winning the Rumble.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. I think it's underrated too, because I think Asuka's the perfect person to beat Bianca. I think Bianca's going to lose. It's time, and she's the most believable out of them all. The other women's, Rhea Ripley versus champ Charlotte Flair.
I think this one is properly rated. I think people were a little peeved that it wasn't Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the women's title, the Raw women's title, that she chose Charlotte Flair instead. But I think this one's properly rated. I think they've done great stuff on SmackDown. Charlotte brought it in a promo battle with her a couple weeks ago, where she mentioned the line about having her own poppy at home, or her own. So I thought it was all good. I think Rhea Ripley's the perfect person for Charlotte Flair, and I think just like I think Asuka's the perfect person for Bianca Belair. So I think this one is properly rated.
All right. I'll probably agree. I think so too. I think so. I think if it's not properly, then it's under. Just because 100%. I think it's going to be a really good match, and I think this is going to be Rhea's moment, and I'm excited for it.
I hope so. Yeah.
John Cena versus champion Austin Theory.
Overrated, I think. Because after that promo battle, I do not want to see this match at all. I'm not excited about it.
And it stinks, because I've been waiting since I started TikToking in the summer. In June, I was posting about Austin Theory. That's how I got TikTok famous, basically, and coming at John Cena and hyping this. This is like a year in the making. This is like storytelling, and John Cena ruined all that with one promo. So yes, I say overrated, and I hope they can save this moving forward. The main event, night 2, Cody versus Roman.
Overrated. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Honestly, I think this is properly rated. I think they've done a great job with the build for this. They've done a decent job up until SmackDown last week. I think they rebounded from Raw on Raw by having Cody interject in that Bloodline segment there at the end. But like I said earlier, I thought SmackDown was all about, it was the Cody Rhodes moment, and then the rest of the show was all about Sami Zayn. But I think they've done a good job of keeping the two stories separate, but making them both feel as important. And now Cody's starting to get more involved in the Bloodline stuff. I'm excited for this match. And the cool thing too is we don't know how it's going to end, and Roman could win and go on to 1,000 days, or Cody could really be the one to end the Bloodline story once and for all, or end the Bloodline's dominance once and for all, and take the belt. We really have no idea which way the WWE is leaning on this, and that's what makes me want to watch this match even more. So I think this is properly rated, and I think it's going to be story of the night for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I would say originally it was underrated because people were poo-pooing on it so much because of your boy Sammy, but now I think it's properly rated. I think people have accepted it, they like it, they're ready for it, and they understand this is going to be a banger of a match. So I'm ready for it. I'm intrigued. I'm all in, and that's our WWE Wednesday, y'all. We are finished. Only 18 minutes over. Not bad for meeting.
2 days. 2 days and 18 minutes over.
Right. Our AEW one might only be like 40 minutes. We're already, to talk for another long time. I'm going to be like, we got to. But anyway, I appreciate you all being here, tuning in. We had a ton of you for a while. You guys were doing your comments. I know you're all probably now working because you guys have lives and doing things. And I appreciate you guys jumping in on lunch breaks or before you get into work. Hopefully you guys will tune in. Give us probably 4 or 5 minutes, and we're going to jump back on for AEW Friday, and then we'll officially be back on track. So thank you for tuning in. As always, follow us, like us. Shooting Star Press right now is doing amazing, posting shorts, and we gained like 30 followers
30 followers
since last Friday. So keep it up, tell your friends. Thank you guys. As always, I'm Mr. MWO, and with me is
Mr. Shooting Star Press, the honorary dude. Go rate us and review us on Apple. You have a choice of wrestling podcasts out there, but continue choosing us because they the twos and we the dudes.
Love it. All right, y'all. Thank you.